How a possible Disney Plus series can change Star Wars forever. Paul Schrader's Master Gardener will be acquired by Magnolia Pictures, and Daniel Kaluuya will rock Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse as a new character. All this and more on this week's episode of Freeze Frame.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Freeze Frame, brought to you by Strictly Casual, the show where we stop to take a moment to discuss all the heavily talked about news of the week having to do with movies, TV, streaming, and pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Vincent DeSantis, and today I'm joined by Ryder Maldonado. Welcome to episode 87, baby. Guys, if you're new on audio platforms, please give us a review. Let us know what you think. It helps us out a bunch. We have a Discord if you want to stay up to date and join our community. We got TikTok for quick updates and news on anything pop culture. Instagram and Twitter for those, quick news drops, little, interactions here and there. And we got a lot of latest videos out on the channel. We got a little God of War review roundup kind of video happening. We got, the latest couple episodes of Checkpoint Freeze Frame with some clips are pretty dang good. And it's just been, it's been good. Ryder, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I was thinking about it and I was like, man, it's, I'm thinking of the song, It's the Holiday Season, because it's getting colder. I'm feeling cozy,
Truly.
like you got the hoodie on. I'm sure it's cold up there in the zoo.
It's raining right now.
Yeah, raining, yeah. So feeling cold, but I'm feeling good. Feeling
good.
Tired.
I'm glad.
But we're hanging in.
Ryder, we had no quote of the week last week. I'm doing okay. I'm doing good. It's good morning. It's going to be a good week. God of War comes out at 9 p.m. tonight. I can't wait. I'll be playing right away.
I was about to say to everybody, hey, biggest game of the past couple of years is coming out, so be prepared. Yeah.
Well, Elden Ring, but
Elden Ring too. Yeah, it's a fierce competition this year.
That's right.
The game of the year.
But we on the movie podcast.
Sorry.
We on the movie podcast.
No quote of the week last week, but we do have one this week. So stay tuned, guys. At the end, we'll have something funny. It's based on what's been going on lately. But okay, I guess you know what. I guess you want to skip this first one and continue on to the Paul Schrader.
Yeah. Okay, let me jump into this real quick. Paul Schrader's Master Gardener has been acquired by Magnolia Pictures. This comes from IndieWire. 2 months after its Venice Film Festival premiere, Paul Schrader's Master Gardener has finally been acquired for distribution. Magnolia Pictures has picked up the crime thriller and is set to give it a U.S. theatrical release next year. Quote, Magnolia has been a class act for over 20 years, and I eagerly anticipate and appreciate the distribution of Master Gardener, Schrader said in a statement. Written and directed by Schrader, Master Gardener stars Joel Edgerton as Narvel Roth, a brilliant horticulturist working at the beautiful Gracewoods Garden Estate. What is a horticulturist?
I don't know.
It's something to do with plants. Let me see.
Horticulturist?
Oh, it's an expert in garden cultivation and management.
Oh.
You learn something new every day.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
Devoted to his work, Roth is forced by his employer, a wealthy do-wager, Mr. Haverhill, Sigourney Weaver, to take on her troubled niece, Maya. I don't know who Quintessa Swindle is. Quintessa Swindle. Is that...
Okay. Well, I think, it sounds familiar. Let's see. That's a Swindle. Name's popping up.
Swindle. Do you recognize? No.
Oh, maybe? She's in Black Adam. She played the Wind girl, the young girl. She's young and she played the Wind.
I didn't see it.
She played the Vortex or the
cool.
Yeah, if you look up either her name or Black Adam cast, you'll see her and be like, oh, I know who that is.
Picture. And his apprentice, and the two slowly form a close bond. However, Roth's dark past and his many sins threaten to catch up with him and destroy the peaceful existence he has worked to maintain. The film is billed as the last in a trilogy of films from Schrader that began with 2017's First Reformed and last year's Card Counter. First Reformed was the Ethan Hawke movie. Card Counter was Oscar Isaac and
Tiffany Haddish, I want to say?
Tiffany Haddish, yep. And Willem Dafoe. All three movies focus on men with troubled past living solitary lives, struggling to do the right thing in a corrupt world. Like First Reformed and the Card Counter, Master Gardener received largely positive reviews during its October Venice premiere, as well as the screening at the New York Film Festival. In her review for IndieWire, film critic Leah Latif wrote, quote, while the central character's arc will likely launch a dreaded discourse, there is a tenderness to Master Gardener that may prove its biggest surprise. Now, you haven't seen either First Reformed or Master Gardener, First Reformed or Card Counter, right?
No, but based on how you're talking about this one is like I talked about a couple of weeks when a film comes out and it sounds like it's going to be one that you got to check out, even though it's not in the spotlight. That's what I enjoy. because you bring it up to me.
It'll be interesting because First Reformed I think is like incredible, like a must watch, and the card counter I think was bad,
Yeah,
like
so it's hit
really
or miss,
bad.
yeah.
Even though the actors were like just as good, and the setup I like more of the card counter because First Reformed is all about like a priest that starts like questioning like the religion, questioning the things happening to the people in his church, like why are these terrible things happening? Why am I doing bad things? Like all this kind of stuff. And the card counter is just about like a struggling gambler that's like, oh, I used to be a person that tortured people in the war, and I was like, I don't know if it's good. And I don't know what Master Gardener's going to be, but I'm sure it's like, oh, he's doing something nice, but he actually does really bad things or something.
Right.
But it's all the same theme, like thematic type things they're going for.
It beats, yeah, for sure.
So we'll see. I hope this lands in the First Reformed category and not the card counter category for me. But it should be very interesting to see. I definitely cannot wait to see it.
I see First Reformed here. I'm like, oh, it's thought you're one of your favorites, Ethan Hawke. So
yeah,
I mean,
he's so
great.
good.
Looks great in this.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah. The
Something
movie is like it's hard to watch though. You feel a little dirty afterwards. Just like it's heavy. Yeah. It's really heavy.
Those movies are like one and done. You got to take it in, for like Oscar season. But it's like, yeah, I'm
sure I'll watch it again eventually. But like, it wasn't like bad heavy. It was like, wow, there's just a lot of thought that goes into this.
Well, that's good. That's what you want to take out of films sometimes. When you were talking about this one, it was making me think of like Oscar nominees because apparently, it's it's coming up, and like, kind of thinking, people have been talking about, of course, Everything Everywhere a lot. Kind of take it. Some other movies, of course, but then one that you were bringing up, and it's looking like I'm gonna have to see it too. Decision to Leave.
I haven't seen it. That's one that was
on your list.
I want to watch it so badly. Yeah.
And so
they extended it in theaters down here in LA. So
really?
It's still like 2 more weeks. It'll be playing wide release in LA. Well, wide release, but
it's one of those that look like it might take some awards, and I'm like, I'm hearing about it.
Dude, it looks gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen the trailer, but like visually, it looks stunning.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be great.
Absolutely. Let's see. Do you want to do Daniel, or do you want to go back and do it?
Yeah. Pop up. Well, no. let's do the clippity clip. Let's do the clippity clip.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
Here we go.
You start it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Could this show potentially change Star Wars forever? Well, let's find out today because we got some new details on Star Wars Acolyte. Production has started, casting details, and for those of you that don't know, we're going to be breaking down what the story is going to be about and what you can look forward to with the show. Vince, we got some bullet points here. You want to go through it? Let's talk our thoughts and get into it.
Yeah, let's get in. So basically, The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take viewers into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era, which is my favorite. Okay. Here's the kind of summary we got is, quote, a former Padawan reunites with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. Ryder, what else do we got about this?
This is great. I put, of course, in big, bold positives. Finally, we get to see the early era of the Star Wars universe. We always talk about the High Republic, right? This is something we always want. We get a different point of view because this is not, one from hope or heroism where we're getting with Andor and kind of the positive side, and we're seeing the dirtiness of the Empire. We finally get the dark side, the dark deception, and the power that the dark side holds. This is their point of view, finally, a switch.
It is pretty interesting because the first phase of the High Republic books that are canon that are happening or that happened, they don't focus on the dark side because the dark side's not really there yet. Like there's still evil forces or whatever in the world, but like there's no, like the Sith isn't like a thing yet.
Yeah.
So this should be interesting to see.
And I want to ask you, have you ever heard the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
What's the next line? I was going to say the next line of it, but I forgot.
Yeah. Oh.
What is it? The next line of...
I don't... Yeah. It's like...
A tale to be... wow, I'm going to get...
He tried... Yeah, we're going to get... Anyone in the comments knows it, please post it for us. I'm sorry, I forget it. But anyways, so here we go. The setting of the Acolyte begins 100 years before The Phantom Menace, episode 1. It's the premise heavily focuses...
To kind of give like context to the books that I'm reading are 200 years before. So this is 100 years after the books I'm reading.
Middle point. Yeah. Okay, cool. So there were some tweets, there's some talk online that if people would be shocked if Plagueis wasn't referenced or mentioned in it or kind of showing up because the tale of Darth Plagueis, this is the kind of maybe a possible retelling of Plagueis. And again, it might not focus on him at all, but he could be lurking in the shadows because it's around the time that we see him as a young adult. Yeah, that's neither here nor there. We also have some cast members. I don't know if you want to break it down for us.
Yeah, we got Lee Jung Jae from Squid Game, and we got Amanda Stenberg, Minnie Jacinto,
Oh,
Darren.
my bad, Manny.
Manny Jacinto, not Darren Keane.
Oh,
It's
Daphne.
Daphne Keane from Logan, Carrie Ann Moss, Dean Charles Chapman, who was in Game of Thrones 1917, Jodie Turner-Smith, Rebecca Henderson, and Charlie Barnett. Did it show Mon Mothma, the actor that's playing Mon Mothma, player in here?
Not in the photo that they posted of the casting. You know, I don't think
this
she'll
is
be in. Yeah, this is way.
no,
before,
me
yeah.
neither. But I probably just saw Carrie Ann Moss and been like, oh my god, Mon Mothma,
Oh,
but it's not.
Yeah, no.
Carrie Ann Moss kind of looks similar. To the actress that's playing Mon Mothma right now.
Yeah, it's funny kind of picking apart the casting and saying, oh, who's going to be a Jedi, who's going to be a dark side, because it works both ways with some of these actors. They're so they can play both sides of that coin. So
Sure.
I'm very excited to see. They also said Lee Jung Jae, see him in the golden robes, just like the cover of the book, with the old Jedi robes.
Dude.
Imagine.
No, I can't wait. No, the High Republic, what is that architecture and the outfits and all that kind of stuff is like different. It's different than what we've seen in like the prequels.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see like what that all looks like. I can't wait to see a live action version of that. There will be more Jedis than Sith in this. I don't think there will be a lot of Sith. If someone's emerging, it's going to be like a bad guy, or a bad guy and his partner or something like that.
All I ask from this show as my final point is the opening of the Rise of Skywalker when Kylo Ren is pulling up to Palpatine and you see kind of the dark side temple and you hear your lightning and the voice of a looming darkness. If this show is anything of the tone of that little bit of that scene, I'll be satisfied.
Sure.
But who knows? We'll see.
It's going to be very interesting. I cannot wait to see. I was going to ask, if you had a certain, other desires from it as well. Anything from the show that you think is going to be, beneficial for fans or, that's going to build the world a little bit. Does anything come to mind?
It stems from Andor. Because if we can get a amazing show that feels so separated from the universe, if they can make something that has, like you said, different designs in ships and almost different designs in cities, but maybe there's hints of locations like Coruscant that we know, but they're completely reskinned. That'll be great. It's finally give us as far different of a story and a location from Star Wars that we've ever seen, and make it feel like a whole new universe, essentially, because it's so many years before. If they can do something different but give us a great story, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think another interesting thing here is we've seen the same Jedis for years and years and years in Star Wars. We've only known a handful of Jedis.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, in the prequels, there's a couple more that have screen time, but no dialogue, maybe a couple episodes of dialogue in the Clone Wars or something. But we haven't met a new group of Jedis in live action Star Wars like this.
How do they use sabers? How do they use the Force? What's different?
Yeah, but not
different.
It's just like any show. You have to build a good set of characters, good cast of characters that are, it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna be fantastic,
Yeah.
guys. If you want to know more about the Acolyte and all the new Star Wars shows and movies, you can stay right here at Strictly Casual. If you want to go to audio platforms, look up Freeze Frame Strictly Casual. There's a little yellow box that says Freeze Frame. You can subscribe right there, or go on youtube.com/Strictly Casual, become a member, and watch our entire video podcast. Or we have clips of every single podcast on the channel you can check out. We got plenty of those, plus more content like that. We love you guys, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out. Beautiful.
Good stuff. This is exciting. It's exciting, dude, as always. Love the Star Wars chat. Okay, moving on here. We have a new casting announcement for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Daniel Kaluuya is going to be Spider-Punk. Now I want to ask, how versed are you, from playing the Spider-Man game, knowing the other variants of Spider-Man? I'm unfamiliar with some of them.
It just seems like somebody had the Spider variants are hilarious. Some there's the Across the Spider-Verse comic that they did years and years ago, or not Across the Spider-Verse. It's called something.
Yeah,
but it came out way before the movie, I guess, and it's it really just does have random Spider-Man, and I'm it doesn't pique my interest if someone's oh, Spider blah 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 is gonna be in this movie. How cool.
Spider Cat?
Yeah. Whoa. Okay.
What? Someone put pen to paper and just said, "Okay, give me an adjective. Okay, give me a noun. Cool, that's a new Spider-Man."
We just get to see a new suit. That's really all it means.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And they're like,
We'd love to
let's
see the
design something new. This comes from Hollywood Reporter. The film's cast for the new film, the part one-er, Oscar Isaac. He's playing Spider-Man 2099, which we know briefly from different forms of media. Brian Tyree Henry, Laura Velez, Greta Lee, Issa Rae, and just the list goes on. There's a lot more cast members here. Some very
Jason
familiar
Schwartzman.
names. Oh, I didn't see that. Jason Schwartzman. Okay, yeah, I know that is. Of course, Phil Lord and Miller. I forget their first name. I think it's Phil
Is it
Lord.
Chris Lord Phil Miller or Phil Lord Chris Miller?
I think that sounds right. Like Phil Lord, Chris Miller. Yeah, that sounds about right. They're going to be writers in the film along with David Callahan. Into the Spider-Verse directors Peter Ramsey and Bob Persichetti are acting as executive producers alongside Aditya Sood. Across the Spider-Verse is the second of a planned trilogy with a third installment, Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, which will be released March 29th, 2024.
I wonder how much they have done of the 2024 version already. I'm sure they're already making it. Like, it takes so long to do this animation.
Oh, yeah, I bet,
the story's
right?
already written out, so you'd assume, like, I don't know, when somebody's working on characters or a certain scene or something, they can, I don't know, start animating that character in another scene. Like you would think they have to do a little bit of double dipping to try to hit that 2024 release date. Animation takes so long.
Oh, I can imagine, right? It's like scripts written, hire the actors, like get the voice work in, it's done, cool. Now it's like it take 3 years to animate. Like, yeah, we don't have to worry about that anymore.
I wonder how that process is, because I'd be curious about that. Like, remember Invincible? They said it was going to be so many years for the second season because they had to animate before they did the voice acting or something like this. And we read an article about it. But then how do you match kind of the words with the voice, like if it's already animated, or the mouths with the voices? That's such a fascinating thing to me. I don't really understand how the process works.
It takes insane coordination, right, with the director to be like, this is how I want this line to be delivered. So animate it like that. It's like, look, this is the footage. Maybe they're showing the actors the footage and they're like, okay, I have this much time. Here's my beat. Let me try.
It's got to be some of that.
That's complicated.
It's got to be a lot.
Coordination.
Yeah.
Versus, like, I guess just getting the actors, you don't want them to just say. I mean, it depends different ways, but just to say a line, and they're like, okay, let's animate around that.
They could have someone else like record the script just as like a placeholder, and then they animate around that with like similar inflections, but then obviously the actor's gonna kind of like take it to the next level of like, okay, this is really what it's gonna sound like. I'm sure that's how it goes, because you can't wait to record all the VO until the end. Try to place it in. It'd be tough.
Yeah. No, I think you're spot on. So I put here, who is he? We also have some details who this is. This is Hobby Brown, aka Spider-Punk. Once used 15,000 volts of punk rock from an quote army of amps to disable President Osborn's Venom tech. What a sentence.
That's hilarious, because it's just like, okay, let's just make this as ridiculous as we possibly can.
Right.
There's his origin. Yeah.
He then defeated Osborn himself by bashing him over the head with his guitar. Because we know, he has the spikes and the guitar, and he rocks out.
Cool.
This film is gonna be great.
I can't wait for this film.
Right?
Yeah.
To see
when does it come out?
Let's see. I want to say 2023, but like summertime, dude. It's coming out.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Would it be crazy if they throw in the video game Spider-Man and it's
Insomniac?
Yuri Lowenthal? Yeah.
It would be really cool. I feel like it could happen.
With Toby and Andrew, I think they're saying that. They're seeing it and they're like, let's do it.
I just don't know how that would work. Like, all the Spider-Men that we're seeing in this don't have their own projects. You know, we're just seeing them. Like, they're just appearing. But, like, do they have to explain that in Spider-Man 2? Like, when we get the game eventually? Of, like...
Yeah.
Of like, is there going to be like some quip where he's like, well, I got sucked into a portal and I'm like Spider-Man. Like, it's so stupid. I don't know.
I say no because I feel like these producers are like, listen, people, they love Toby and Andrew. Let's throw in the game. But when we come to the game, don't mention it because it's just another variant. Like, he looks like the video game version, but it's another variant where the one we play as is a different guy than this one. But
do you think Toby and Andrew are going to be in this?
I don't know how they'll get those voices. I don't know how. No. I mean, you know what? I see them. If there's deleted footage from No Way Home, that's like deleted. Maybe they pull a quip or two, and it's like one line.
Feels dirty.
Yeah, we've seen them we've seen them repurpose footage before.
Yeah, it feels so dirty.
And if they
Here's-
really wanted him, they take the mask off and he's like Andrew, and you see the hair, you know, it's Andrew.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
If that is the case, that is going to spark, oh my god, Andrew Garfield's back in talks with Sony to create another Spider-Man movie. That's how this is gonna go. It's gonna be so freaking annoying. Nope, that's all we're gonna hear about for like 2 weeks.
And Andrew
Ugh.
hasn't spoken with Sony for like 7 years. And people
Right,
are
he
gonna
doesn't
say,
give a F. He's like, yeah, I'm about to jump on my next stage play. Like, I can't wait. I'm excited. Excited for you guys to see this.
he's doing his next indie film. Like, they just pulled his old voice, dude. Wow, that'd be great. But
Pain.
we'll see. This is gonna be, we'll be there day one for this movie.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm gonna change this title for this headline.
Oh yeah, this is just copy and paste.
This headline, I'll say the original headline and then what I'll change it to.
Yeah.
The original headline is James Gunn acknowledges the recent demand for release the Ayer cut and save Legends of Tomorrow. Really, this should be like James Gunn gives the middle fingers to fans still holding on hope for release the Ayer cut and save Legends of Tomorrow. That's what this should be.
Let it go.
Yeah, let it go. James Gunn on Twitter says, quote, well, first he started off with like, thank you guys for caring, basically.
yeah.
And like, we see your support for this and we want to make sure we do right by the fans. But all of our, this is the actual quote, all of our initial focus is on the story going forward, hammering out the new DC cinematic universe and telling the biggest story ever told across multiple films, television shows, and animated projects.
Now, you know that quote, the biggest story ever told. People took that a little bit, posted it and said, it's gonna be crazy. They're gonna be Marvel, or, you know, competition mindset. But biggest story ever told. Now, with James Gunn being so, you know, knee deep in Marvel and probably knowing like, oh, I know the plan for Secret Wars with Feige, I'm sure he's gonna go to DC and say, here's how we can be different. And I think that's a one major plus from leaving Marvel, doing the same thing and saying, here's what we can do, the same kind of build up, but be different in the story. And
yeah, I mean, they're going to have to be different. I think if they try to copy the same game plan, it's not going to go great. Like, I don't know if they have they are at such a confusing state if they release the movies they have the way they release them.
yeah,
that it's going to be years until we actually see this come into fruition.
mm-hmm.
Whereas you have Marvel, who started off very strong with Iron Man. You had a connection in Hulk, even though Hulk was not necessarily as strong. Then was Thor next?
Yeah, Thor, and then Cap.
Yeah, you have like...
Yeah.
Right from the start, you have a string of things like that like felt good. This has 5 years of no strings, and you're just going to... I don't know.
No,
start with Black Adam? Okay, all right, so be it.
Yeah. I think like the one thing they got going too is like, while Marvel has their characters, their actors... They are beloved, but they slowly become into that beloved status. While with DC, it's like, it doesn't matter what movie you do. Give me Henry Cavill, Superman. Give me Ben Affleck. Like, they want the actors. Like, these actors are so with these characters, you know?
Ben Affleck is like okay as Batman. Like, I think he has cool Batman scenes and like other Batman scenes where I'm like, okay, great. But like Jason Momoa, he is Aquaman.
Yeah, he is Aquaman.
Cool. He embodies that for sure.
I don't care what movie it is. Just give me him.
Yeah, I like him. I don't know. Like Gal Gadot had a great Wonder Woman movie and an awful Wonder Woman movie where I loved her in one, didn't really care for her in the other. So like her could be, it's a toss up for me. I'm ready to like introduce Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, let's get weird with it.
Let's get a little funky. Let's get a little more alien-y here, because they do that in DC. I'm ready for that.
They got the lanterns. They got, you know, they have all kinds of, and
sure.
I'm sure James Gunn will pull it, because if we have Polka Dot Man, King Shark, like, it's in him. It's in him to do this and make it work.
Yeah. I want to see a live-action version. We talked about this months ago, of that Justice League animated show. It's like a 3-part.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the beginning of the show, the first 4 episodes are a movie. And so they sold the movie separately, like all the episodes all in one. And it's so good. If they just made that into live action, I would cry. It would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure he's thinking about that. I'm thinking like literally probably what you said, dude. I see that happening.
It has all the, it literally, it's with the cast members they have, except for Aquaman. That would be interesting to throw that in. But then like you need Martian Manhunter and you need Brainiac, who's the bad guy.
Oh yeah.
But it'd be epic. It'd be so epic.
Dude, yeah, imagine. Wow. I wonder if there's a villain, because I'm not familiar with any DC villains or anything like that. If there's one that has the like, not, again, multiversal power. Sorry, I gotta say it, but like that he goes and he's like he's clean sweeps everything, and that's kind of like the. I don't even know how you would do something.
they
I don't
could do
even know
that.
how you would clean. I could just release a movie. And just release it. Like, don't tell us anything. Just do it and have it start new. You know.
Then we're gonna have like 10 years from now being like, well, is this movie actually canon? Like, let's release.
There'll
the
be a
Ayer
video
cut.
on the
Like,
channel of like, what DC films are canon?
It's like, too bad the Snyder Cut really messed everything up. Blah, 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 blah. Or like, all this stupid stuff. It's just an endless cycle of pain.
I also
I'm
think
excited
about
for some stuff.
Okay, my last quote that I want to tell you is that the interesting thing about all this is that, and I don't know if agree or disagree. Let me know what you think. This all stems from Zack Snyder stepping away from Justice League, because of the unfortunate of his family tragedy. But like, if he would have stayed with Justice League, we would have got that movie, and I don't know. I feel like everything would have been on track, and I don't know. I feel like it would have been a whole different world just because of that one incident and him stepping away.
Could be.
It's a crazy ripple effect, and now it's a whole different.
Yeah. Sad, dude.
Yeah.
Life's tough.
It really is. Yeah. You never know what comes at you. Okay. Well, ladies and gents, now we're going on noteworthy headlines. Lots of small stuff. Well, okay, not small stuff. I shouldn't. There's no level of degree here. It's just a lot of headlines that are noteworthy.
Sure. Wait, did you go to Jimmy Kimmel yesterday?
I did not. No.
F.
But guys, Jonathan Majors is going to be on Jimmy Kimmel soon.
Yeah.
And I think Dana Carvey was hosting it, but yeah, it was just just
cool
doing different work around the house, but
great. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Eventually I'll
go.
Yeah.
Moving on. Jimmy Kimmel will host the 2023 Oscars.
I'm for it. Just make him permanent. That's what I think.
Really? Okay.
It's not good or bad with him. It's just like
he's
whatever.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's totally middle of the line. I think he's.
You won't have controversy. You won't have like bad joke. I mean, like it'll be like okay.
I'm ready for Kermit. Like Kermit needs to host the Oscars.
Yeah.
I'm back on that.
Make it silly again. Make the Oscars silly again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. We got a new trailer for Wong Kar-wai's TV series Blossoms Shanghai. Now, this is described as the third part of In the Mood for Love and 2046. I had sent you this trailer.
I have not seen the trailer.
It's interesting that it's a TV show, but yeah, the vibe and the aesthetic of this really lines up. But I don't know what 2046 is.
I don't know what people are seeing in TV shows right now, because like even Scorsese's doing a show and like all this kind of stuff.
Long form, yeah. I don't know. Okay, so yeah, Wong Kar-wai, Tony Leung, and Gong Li, 2046.
God,
it's just another film. Let's see, this came out what year? How crazy! 2004.
What did?
So while In the Mood for Love is like 90s, 2046 is early 2000s.
Yeah.
And now we have this. Okay, I could see how this is a third part now. This is all lining up. Interesting.
Yeah. Visuals look pretty interesting there too. I wonder where you would watch this. It's not coming to like.
Yeah, I always do 2046 streaming. Let's see. Maybe
what?
Yeah,
Tencent owns the rights to this?
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'll have to look into that.
Right.
Okay, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who I think I don't like.
I think
it's teetered off. It's teetered off. So I'm like,
he's overdone. No, just kidding, he's overdone. It's like he's so talented and he's in everything. He's in everything, you know?
I don't want to say I don't like him. I think he does a lot of good work.
No, but I'm with you. It's like, he's kind of like, he's lost his, what's it called?
He's lost anything. He just is what he is. Lin-Manuel Miranda wings his way into Percy Jackson and the Olympians as Hermes.
Now,
cool.
If you're listening, what's the response to this? Was this like, ugh? Or was it love? Because it was one-sided, it seemed.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians as a TV show with Rick Riordan as an executive producer. Like, all this stuff, it's just feeling good. It's feeling good. The casting, I'm very neutral on it because I think it's great that they're going with the kids, just like littler kids, like the books and stuff.
Scoble.
And it's made for the age of books that the books are for. They're made for the same age. Whereas I wish the show was made for
the
kids that
me
right.
Too.
The kids that read the books
that
are now early adulthood and mid, like, you know what I mean? Of like, it's not going to connect with us, writer. Like I'm excited to see it, but it's not for us. Like it's going to be hard to get really into, I think.
I see one or two like, oh, I closed the door wrong, like a joke that's a little too like silly, a little like,
Sure.
oh, okay,
Well, I don't know if it's going to be a problem with the writing. It's just, yeah, it's not written with us in mind. It's written for like children. It is.
Yeah, I see a scene where they're in a car, and they're like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know.
they're just kind of doing they're doing a bit. They're doing a bit that
I'm excited to see what it looks like. I'm excited to see Camp Half-Blood and like what that is all about. Yeah, especially after rewatching Sea of Monsters, or not Sea of Monsters, whatever the first one is, Lightning Thief.
Lightning Thief. Oh.
Maybe a year ago now.
I don't know.
I was like, wow, this is bad. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, the Lightning Thief. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to watch it again because my memory of it's really good. So I don't. Watch it.
Then don't watch. Yeah, don't watch it again.
I was like, volumified the Camp Half-Blood. I don't know why that made me laugh. No, it'll be practical. I think they're shooting on a little set, out somewhere.
Great. Yeah.
Here we go. James.
After Andor, now I'm just, the realization is like,
oh yeah, you could do practical. Practical. There's no problem.
God, it looks so good.
Yeah, James Cameron is prepared to end the Avatar series after the third film if, quote, Avatar 2 isn't profitable. He says, this is the quote now, the question is how many people give us shit now?
That's hilarious. I bet he wrote a nice ending for 3 if they could never do it 4.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's going to lose its nostalgia factor. I mean, just after the second one, I'm going to be like, good, I'm done. Like,
dude, the second one's going to make bonkers money. Yeah.
But a third one,
bonkers money.
A third one would struggle, I think.
It's still going to make bonkers money. I think it doesn't matter if it's good or not.
It depends on where they go.
If the second one absolutely sucks, then the third one might not make as much money.
Yeah. The second one might be amazing or might not. But
people are going to give it the Gluck Gluck 9000 when it comes out, and like it's going to be like
CGI alone.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it depends on what you're going for. Because like I guess my expectation is like I'm not in this for the story whatsoever. I just want to see my mind be blown by 3D.
It's going to be gorgeous.
James Cameron single-handedly trying to save 3D.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Maybe I'll see it in 3D. I hate seeing movies in 3D. The last movie I saw in 3D was Gravity, and I already think Gravity is like one of the most overrated movies of the last like 10 years, and the 3D was bad. I was like, this sucks.
That's what I'm saying. I get headaches. I'm like, Jimmy, what do you got that's so different? You better take my socks
But you saw the Avatar re-release, right?
Yeah, I did see the re-release. That was a good 3D.
Was good.
That was pretty crisp.
Yeah.
So Let's see.
I'm sure this is leagues better. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say at Expo when they showed us the 3D, dude, I'm blown. I've never seen anything more amazing in my life.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it in 3D.
Not an exaggeration.
I'll have to see it. Yeah. We got a live action Gears of War film in the works at Netflix. It's an adult animated series. Oh, wait, sorry. Excuse me. There's a live action Gears of War film in the works for Netflix, and there's also a separate adult animated series in the works for Gears of War. I thought it was just an animated series, so that's kind of cool. Yeah. I hope Dave Bautista's in it. Yeah,
they're like throw Dave and Terry Crews, I think also had like a role in this universe.
Okay.
Dwayne Johnson, Chris Evans, Red One. They posted a picture. There's a new film coming called Red One.
I saw it. Yeah.
Also stars J.K. Simmons, Bonnie Hunt as Santa and Mrs. Claus. We know nothing.
As Santa.
We know nothing about this, but based on the photo, we can assume it's a Christmas film, holiday movie. Maybe
who's producing this?
Not The Rock posted a photo, and it was his quote with like,
"Is it a Disney?
Love my buddy." What? I want to say this is going to be Netflix. I have a feeling it's Netflix because if he teamed up with Ryan Reynolds for Netflix, I see him doing the same thing with Chris Evans. Following even like The Gray Man, like this is probably another Netflix film. But
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, the Instagram post, The Rock had an awesome little fit, like a tech fit. Like he looked like an elf.
Isn't that funny? We assumed right off the bat it was a straight to streaming movie. How funny is that? That's crazy. We didn't even assume. We didn't even assume that it was coming to theaters.
No, I don't know. I just thought, The Rock, where's he making his deals? Probably Netflix or something.
These guys are getting fat stacks. I'll say it.
Honestly, yeah.
This looks like. I'll tell you what this movie is. I'll tell you what this movie is right now. If you see this photo, if you're at it, if you're listening to this podcast, just Google up the Red One photo. It's Dwayne Johnson, hands behind his back, full leather suit, green and red, but kind of weathered, like a weathered suit. He is He works for Santa and Mrs. Claus, and he does some present delivering and maybe gets some rough stuff. He makes things happen at the Santa factory. Okay?
That's weird.
But he can't get it done without Chris Evans. And Chris Evans, he's a bad boy, total rebel, you know, like something like this. I don't really know where he's from. He doesn't have elf ears, so I'm assuming he's not an elf. He's a normal person, bad boy. He probably has a child that he's neglected or something like this, right? Now, for some reason, Dwayne Johnson has to rely on Chris Evans' character to make Christmas happen. And Chris Evans is going to have to, you know, go against his rebel bad boy ways and help Dwayne Johnson to make Christmas happen. And then also at the same time, it'll be right with his daughter and everything will be good at the end of the movie.
Well, Vince, what if I told you you were 100% spot on because I hid the summary from you? No, I'm kidding.
Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Yeah. No, but that sounds, dude, that sounds spot on. That is so good. Yeah, I can see the opening where a little kid and it's Dwayne Johnson and he's like, "Wow, you Santa?" He's like, "No, kid, not yet." And so when he grows up, he's like grumpy and he sees him and he's like, "You know, as a kid, you know, I thought you were Santa, but you."
Oh, you think Chris Evans already has a premeditated?
I think so. Yeah.
Anger towards Dwayne Johnson. Okay, interesting.
And that's what creates the dynamic of, you know what, you force my hand, or he's just, I don't know. I see that being better because he wants to be a bad boy. You know, he's done being good. Evans.
The Rock. This is a funny thing too. I heard this because I had a my cousin. He was a grip, so he's telling me stories about like different actors and stuff, and like how people are cool or not cool, like on set and all that kind of stuff. He always told me the story about John Cena on set and when they were shooting Bumblebee, Transformers movie, and it was like a remote location or whatever. They put everybody up in a hotel, like the whole crew and cast are in a hotel basically because they have to shoot the next day. It's like day after day after day. And in the middle of this hotel was a piano, and John Cena both nights went out late night and played the piano for everybody, and John Cena would play it for hours, and he'd just hang out with the cast and crew at the end of days, and they would have like drinks and just hang out, and like he said, like John Cena's nicest actor.
Yeah, wow, that's so good to hear. Because it sounds right.
Whereas awesome. Like The Rock, he said The Rock only shoots like 3.5 hours a day, and he's done. Like he can't, like in his contract, is like he can't shoot more than 3 hours a day. Like
because he's got so much going on, probably. I
don't know.
That's interesting. He's like, I gotta go work on the XFL, and then I gotta go work on Terramana tequila, and then I gotta go work on Under Armour shoes. That guy has so many businesses.
Rock shares his shooting schedule. Yeah, but I'm not sure that his shooting schedule would be the correct one. Okay, you know,
and
I don't know.
Also, his sports drink, dude. He has a drink. He has tequila. He has Under Armour shoes.
That's the thing.
Clothes.
Those are just his names. He has a hired CEO of each of those companies under his name.
Yeah,
for sure.
I have been really impressed, but not impressed, more so interested in seeing the XFL, which is like a whole other league that he created and owns now. Isn't that insane?
What is the XFL?
So basically, I think when you don't make it to the NFL, it's another league down, and so now there's all these teams like the San Antonio Buccaneers or something. I don't know, like different, and it's like a whole league of teams that can play against each other.
I really liked the FFL, the FCFL, the fan controlled football league. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That was like you watch live and then you vote on the plays that they should make, and then they run the play that everybody votes the most on.
Wow. See, so if they lose, it's like it's your fault.
Yeah. You're part of the team.
Greg Miller owned one? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, they the first season, but then they got into NFTs, and so a lot of people dropped off. I was like,
oh, nice.
Just doing stuff.
Man, mad respect. Greg and all them, they left because of that?
Yeah, they've won the first season and left.
That's so much respect, dude.
They beat the Migos. The Migos owned the opposing team and they beat them.
That's insane. Oh, I could see Greg posting about that. Like,
it was awesome. It was so fun to be a part of for a while.
Man, dude, more and more every day. Is it how do I put on my bio kind of funny best friend? Do I just put it?
KFBF done.
I just do
You're
it.
in.
I really feel like now I am a true fan, dude.
Good. They're the best.
Of all of them. Like, okay.
So good. Okay, Red One. Somebody I know. Okay, I will clip this out. I'll clip this out and save this clip, so that way when Red One comes out, I can post this as a review of the movie, and people will know the difference.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah. That'd be great. Okay.
Couple more headlines here. Yeah. What do we got?
First episode of Stranger Things season 5 is titled The Crawl. They're working on it now.
Marvel Studios is eyeing to cast Bob Odenkirk in a key role in Wonder Man. Of course they are.
He's
Bob
playing
Odenkirk's a legend.
He's playing Saul Goodman, the lawyer.
Yeah, sure.
The actor.
In Wonder Man.
Alan and Maria Dizia have been casting Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, along with Aubrey Plaza. That was a big headline this week.
Mm-hmm. Is Aubrey Plaza in White Lotus?
She is. Yeah, she's great in that.
Got it. Okay.
I recommend that.
I saw a screenshot that was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah, I was watching that, and it's hilarious and enticing, and she's best. She's so good. Good.
We got Brett Goldstein, Bowen Yang join Garfield animated movie. Bowen Yang, am I saying that right? And of course, the Garfield animated movie will star Chris Pratt, which is due out in theaters May 24th, 2024. Wouldn't Brett Goldstein just be 100 times better Garfield than Chris Pratt?
Agreed. I think he'd be phenomenal. You can hear it now. Oi! Give me my lasagna. Give me my lasagna.
Actually, Chris Pratt might be a good Garfield. That might be a good pick for an animated movie. Much better than Mario.
Okay. I'm with you, yeah.
I would say Parks and Rec Chris Pratt is a great choice for a Garfield. I would say 2022, the Tomorrow War Chris Pratt is not a good Chris Pratt for Garfield.
Yeah, I can see him being like, listen, how many zeros are on this check here? I can pull out anything right now, just depending on you.
I mean, he's good. He's made some cash money.
Yeah, he does that anecdote where he's like the guy that's all like energetic, like, oh, hey, like that's his voice. He can pull that out, you know.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. That's kind of some of the biggest news this week. We also have a quote for you guys. Something fun. Here we go. I'm just like any modern woman, trying to have it all. Loving husband, a family. It's just I wish I had more time to seek out the dark forces and join their hellish crusade. Let us know what you think that is from in the Discord.
I don't know what this is either. This is great.
Yeah, next week it'll be revealed, and we'll have another one for you guys. But let's see, what have we been watching, and what do we recommend for you guys?
I'll tell you what I watched this week. I watched one movie. Oh, I caught up on Andor, which is absolutely incredible, and I recommend everybody watching it because it's not just good Star Wars. I think it's a fantastic TV show, which I can't say a lot about the pop culture shows these days. So I would say Andor is the best.
Yeah. 100%.
Kind of one happening.
Yeah, it is.
And then I watched Barbarian 2 nights ago, which you saw that, right? Did you see Barbarian?
Yeah. Okay, so now we can. Oh, another conversation can happen.
Weird ass movie. If you have not seen it, don't listen to anything about it. You should just watch it. Yeah,
they threw in a kind of a a curve during the middle of it. You know what I'm talking about?
During like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. I really like that, but the direction they went with him, I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But
if you haven't seen Barbarian, or interested in it, please just skip the next 2 minutes because like I want to talk about it with you a little bit, you know. But seriously, if you're interested, don't listen to this because it will just ruin the movie. Because the enjoyment of the movie is just enjoying it and like seeing what happens. Because the movie, I think, isn't like amazing. I don't think it's like an amazing movie or anything. But the fun of it is just the revealing of the information. Okay, you've been warned. This movie has a lot of interesting themes about kind of
who's the true barbarian, right?
Sure, yeah, who's the true barbarian? But I think also the way that like people are believed, like women, some in society sometimes can not be believed when they speak things, and men just automatically get taken so seriously about like things, and like there's all this kind of like that is like such a major theme in this movie, which is interesting. But I don't think the ending reflected like the kind of theme that they were trying to hit with the movie. Like I found it flat. The end was so flat.
It went like horror, like, oh, let's do like an action scene at the end when it should have just been something else that could have landed.
It didn't have to be an action scene.
Because there's essentially three barbarians, if you will, right? There's the kind of initial, the fear.
The incest old lady.
Well, I was gonna say the young guy, like Bill Skarsgård, like the fear of the unknown, right? With just men, right? Or you could say that women go through on the daily, right? Then it gets more serious into like you said, like I think the creepy monster, her is like one. I think that was one.
Yeah.
And then
The
of course
incest
the
whole baby.
actual barbarian of this was the guy, the horrible guy at the end. Not Justin Long. My bad.
I think Justin Long's just as much as the barbarian as.
I'm sorry. That's what it was. The three guys were Bill Skarsgård, like a smaller one. Justin Long for like, gaslighting, being literal rapist, right? Like him, right? Yeah. Well, reported, but yeah, he probably is because that's the story.
Oh, definitely.
And then, and then the worst one is the actual, like child predator. What do you call it? Like a,
Yeah, in the movie, he was
evil.
having sex with women to have their babies, and then having sex with their babies to have another baby, and then after generations of that, then you get this weird monster thing. That is in it.
3 different types of barbarians in this, which is like, okay, yeah, there's a huge theme.
Yeah, but the ending of sure, Justin Long throws the lady off the water tower. You're like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that. You're a dummy.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So they kill the crazy monster thing after the monster destroys Justin Long's head. But I think it would have been even more. It would have hit so much harder if both of them got away. Like they killed the monster, both of them got away.
He gets justice? Or?
No, exactly. He reports this and like everybody listens to him and believes him because he's like famous actor or whatever, and nobody believes her. I think that would have been so much of a stronger ending to me than like death. Or I guess you can kind of
that would have been frustrating, dude.
Because the movie already is frustrating, but then I don't want to. It's not a victorious ending when she walks away, unless by killing Justin Long's character, then the assumption is that when she leaves this area, nobody's going to believe her anyway about anything that's happened. But it's still, I don't know. I think it would have been even hard. It would have hit so much harder if that was kind of the ending of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Then she doesn't get her her job anymore, like because she's saying all this stuff. Like that'd be crazy.
Oh wow, dude,
that would hurt.
Man, you would love to bring the frustration to the audience.
You have to. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great. I mean, yeah, that's all really I have on that movie because
it was interesting.
That's a good point. Interesting. I'm with you.
What did you watch?
Let's see. What have I watched? I finally saw this movie on Netflix called The Good Nurse. True story about.
Oh yeah, The Good Doctor Cinematic Universe.
The Good Doctor Cinematic Universe, dude. It's crazy. The spinoff.
The Good Place. Yeah.
The Good Place. Yeah. That's where you go after The Good Nurse happens, but you gotta watch The Good Doctor to see context. So, anyways, the Good Nurse was about this true story about, of course, a good nurse that befriended a male nurse that was, going hospital to hospital, and he was killing people by putting insulin in their bags, and nobody figured it out. And this guy apparently on the end it said he killed over 400 people apparently.
God.
And yeah, he just to this day no one knows why he did it. And even he's
weird.
Like,
did the movie kind of explore that?
He was troubled, and I want to say when he was young, his mom died in a hospital, and it kind of troubled him, and I think that could be stemming from it. But when she was the one who helped get a confession from him for the cops, and he was just like, the good nurse, his friend, Jessica Chastain's character, and
Jessica Chastain, incredible actor, by the way.
She's amazing,
incredible actress.
Eddie Redmayne too, he did great in this, man. He was good. And she was like, why did you do this? And his response was, because no one ever stopped me. So I was like, yeah, he just kept doing it and doing it. And he would transfer hospitals, and they kept covering up like suspiciousness because they didn't want to get a lawsuit. How crazy.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Ugh. Should just disbarred him. We're not whatever they do that with doctors, takeaways, accreditation.
I mean, it would be like multiple a night, dude. How crazy.
Ugh. Yeah, I hate that.
But yeah, interesting movie, and I think that's it.
That's all I watched. I talked about Copland last week. I only watched one movie this week. Time.
It was a busy one. But yeah, there you have it. Wow, fantastic episode. Lots of fun stuff. Great conversation. Ladies and gents, everybody have a great week. Enjoy the content you got out. Again, we have social media link down below. Give us a review. Let us know what you think. It helps us out. Gets us out there on the audio platforms. We also have YouTube. You can become a member, watch the video, and we have a clip out that'll be out when this podcast is out. If you want to see a video of us and see how we're doing. But yeah, that's about it. Anything else, Vince?
Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody.